I'm doing great.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear. Have you had your coffee yet?
I don't think anyone gave any to me. No, I don't know where it went. Hold on. What's going on here? There's some kind of defilement. No, it's extra. It's like the root beat dirt from your ancestors. It's good for you.
Okay, so good morning. How's everybody? Wait.
I'm also over here.
Oh my god. What's going on here? Hold on, there's more cuteness. The first cuteness you've seen, but the second one is yet to come. Don't. These are my pajamas. That's all you need to know. All right. Have you had your coffee yet this morning? Buzz off. It's okay. I usually like flies, but that's a little invasive. If you need to approach, please land on a nearby surface, sit politely, and I will address you at my soonest convenience. Okay. Let's just say we talk to the flies. You'd be surprised how much they listen. And this is we're gonna start off with a little entertainment to thin out the already 0 people watching with a 0 thumbs up. I just told myself I'm gonna give myself 15 minutes to talk about this. And whatever comes out, whether it sounds like it's related to the topic or not. And it just will be because the subconscious mind is like that black mold they put in a maze. And the research found that it could find its way through a maze faster than any human. So, anyways, I got a viewer and a thumbs up. Good morning. Have you had your coffee? I'm going to share something with you right now. I have taken to paper plates. Ted Wolf, hello, good morning. All caps. We are here also. I've taken to paper plates, paper bowls, which are both microwave safe, and another element. A mystery gift I received in the mail. I'm going to show it to you. It's like part aluminum. So like you could heat your coffee up easy hot. You can drop it in this like you got to hear it. Huh? You have your coffee. I'm glad. Have you been It's been the springtime is come and went, Dead Wolf. Have you been out meandering the countryside? Have you been frolicking in the daisies? Have you been espying the lady folk of the land? As all young men are apt to do in the spring. Now I have 2 people watching. What is going on here? Is it your other YouTube channel, Dead Wolf? 3. He does have 3 channels. When he's in a good mood, he'll tune in with all 3 of them. But we have not yet earned the 3 thumbs up. We have 3 watchers, and yet there is only 1 thumbs up. So everybody has their own interests. All right, I'm gonna be Captain Obvious here. I'm gonna put on my pillowcase. I'm gonna get my safety pins out and strap my Superman pillowcase to my back. I'm going to put the underwear that have Superman on them on my head right now, and I'm getting on my top bunk, and I'm hopefully not going to jump, but if I do, I will live, and I will be okay. Captain Obvious is going to state something here. No matter who you are, if you think you know other people, you don't. You're mind mapping them. And you're mind mapping them with the abilities that you, through biological determinism, according to theorists like Dr. Robert Sapolsky, have a framework that was pre-decided before your birth. In fact, now that you're here, you are unable but to respond to your environment in a very pre-programmed way, and it's better to say that you're observing your life and experiencing the properties of immersion, then you are actually making decisions. But I believe in the 3D law of attraction. Miss No Name, Akon. I think that I come up with plans every day, and I control other people and their non-player characters just to support me. And yay! And oh wait, no, maybe I don't believe they're non-player characters. Maybe I believe that like they want to manifest something, and I wanted to manifest something, and we both wanted to manifest each other. And we're a 3D law of attraction. I believe this was our plan because we got this free will thing going on. First thing, do you believe that a long life is a gift from whatever force or creator you believe in? Well, yes, I do. Why is it then that Neville Goddard did not have a long life, and he penned the very book of how Christianity and the 3D law of attraction were both one and the same? Well, I hear you, but Jesus didn't live long either. That's true. They say. I actually don't believe that. There's a lot of people that believe that Jesus died and went to the cross when he was about 30 something. I have another view that is not going to be popular with the majority of you, okay? But I want you to think of the Jesus guy as being a very popular name at the time. A very popular name. Like when you go to school in California, how many Georges and Jesuses are there in a classroom? Every classroom is going to have yourself a Jesus, right? What about the name Joey or Joe? You're going to run into a Joe probably in the 80s. Every classroom nowadays, every 2 classrooms to 3 classrooms, maybe every classroom, depending on your region. And when a name is popular, the people have taken to the story and the name, and they're feeling it somewhere. In the cockles of their heart, in the marrow of their bones. But when they saw that young one, they said, let's give him this name. And boy, if you want to radicalize someone, that's not a bad name to use. It's been very effective in the past. In fact, at the time that Jesus was alive, they say that there was so many guys running around named Jesus causing riots in the streets that it was a real issue. The Romans were starting to crack down on all the people practicing the traditional Israelite religion at that time, that were not called Christians. In fact, at the time that the Christians were cracked down on, I'm going to become so unpopular. The Christian beliefs, when they were being attacked, were more similar. They were Hasidic than the Hasids are Hasidic. So how the Hasids, you know who the Hasidics are right now? Okay, go study them. Once you think you've watched them for a couple days, then I want you to imagine these characters in your early Bible stories. That's how they were. They were extreme. Jesus' brother James was killed because he was upset that they were not allowing temple sacrifice and temple animal offerings, and he was left in charge of the church after his brother was gone. And it's very well documented in the book of James, is attributed to him. And what he got killed for, stoned to death, was that he had a line that he believed was from, in some stories, go look this up in the historians, that he believed he was from a high priestly line, and he put on the high priestly garb that they kept in their family. He went into the temple and he went to offer on Passover a lamb. The other group of guys who thought they were in line to be the priests and were like, we're not doing offerings right now. I'm watching Roadrunner drink my dog's water. Do you want to see it? If it comes back, I'm going to aim the camera and you're going to get to watch this. This little Roadrunner is just popping in and out of my dog's water. The dogs are just watching. See if it comes back. He's thinking about it. He's pecking around out there. Okay, here he comes, here he comes. Watch. You can see. I don't think they can't see shit. You can't see shit through the camouflage, can you? Oh well. Don't make fun of my gate. I had to heavily reinforce it because of my Akita, which is one of the things I was going to talk about this morning. This gate had to have another gate buried in front of it that goes underground so that she can't dig her way out. Yes, they've all judged me because they saw my fucking ugly ass gate. Well, if you left because of the gate, then good for you. Get out of here, scumbucket. Anyways, okay, so what was I talking about? That Roadrunner was so cute. 2 people and 4 thumbs up. It's because we showed our ugly gate, probably. Fuck this scum. Anyways. Okay, where were we going? It's very conspiratorial. Names, classrooms, brothers. Oh! You know how these days you see like Hasids running on the Temple Mount trying to make offerings and stuff and they have to arrest them? That's what Jesus' brother was doing. That's what they say the brother of Jesus was doing when he was killed. But back then they didn't just arrest you. Think about that for a minute. Okay, so now that I got that out in the air, because Christians run around thinking that they're like, this is Christianity. And it's like, according to sociology, the doctrines shift as the economy shifts. And so, that's why Christians were pro-slavery in the 1800s and anti-slavery. Now it's just Niccolo Machiavelli. The minister must support the financial interests of the prince or the power, or you won't be ministering for long. So, now that we've got one person and 4 thumbs up, in my Batman voice, they're only as good as the system would let them be. What does that even mean? Isn't that the Joker's line? Okay, so upon analyzing, I have this dog, and her name, she has several, but one of them is Lily. You may call her a Lilith if you'd like. I don't mind. She is part Akita, and she is part cattle dog. And I've been paying attention to her ways. And when she, for instance, if there's red ants in the yard and she's watching, she'll actually watch them as they mill about and go about their business. But for some reason, a specific ant just this morning caught her eye and she started to look at it like the ant had, I don't know, it had been plots with subplots perhaps. And then she started to nudge it with her nose until she felt she'd corrected it, and then she went off on her way. Now, she cracks me up because she has the ability, everybody has a special gift, and in their imagination station, and Lily's imagination station gift, one of them appears to be imagining plots. Right now, if I was to show you her, you would look at the look on her face and you'd go, oh my God, she's imagining a plot right now. Let me see if I can sneak up on her without getting her to move. She already looked over, but she's back focused again. Hold on. Now she's acting distracted. Was imagining plots. So I was watching her. I watch her as she watches the insect. Even certain flying bugs will pass, and like some of them pass, she doesn't even lift her head, but other flying bugs pass and she'll lift her head and she'll watch them for a while. Like she's tracking their movements. Like she's just, it's very, if I was writing a book for children about a dog and Lily was going to be in it, one of the ways I would put her is as a junkyard dog who's left in a junkyard all the time. You know how like in the Peanuts, the kids, like the parents just are like, blah, blah, blah. You barely ever see the parents, but it's like these kids. So you're going to see this, like this human shows up. You'll never see their face. You just hear, rah, rah, rah. They get a few pets, they get some food and stuff, but they basically guard a junkyard. And in this junkyard, she she's gotten to know all of the mice, and she imagines like day to day. Have you ever watched the movie Caddyshack? And there's the gopher that's driving the guy crazy, and how he's like always like kind of like that. And but then at the same time, she would know that the mice that she was observing were like rats of Nim level smart, and that the humans don't get it, but that if anybody else was left in charge of them, the whole universe would, the mice would have blown the universe up by now, and that she saved the day but gets no praise for it. From like a couple of white mice that were planning to like do some atom bomb explosion under the junkyard that would have taken the multiverse out, just like in like that book, So Long and Thanks for All the Fish. And they can never, this is a species of highly intelligent rats and mice that can never fully get rid of because of what they were exposed to, the chemicals perhaps under the junkyard. But Lily's the only one capable of. It's really Papa Smurf. And then the little Smurfs, you know how Gargamel always is keeping an eye on them? Them Smurfs. Look, let me see if I can catch her again. She just was doing it right now. An ant passed her, but this one didn't garner like full corrective duty. So she just gave it a gentle nudge, like, good to go, on your way. And it's a different ant. So it's not a bad thing, right? Aw. When she chills out, she uses frog legs. The legs go fully behind her. They frog leg out. So I started thinking, if I told you the reasons why I think it's possible. Remember that one's Simon. She's doing a wonderful job. Oh, Simon. My other dog made this little, he makes these little weird snorty sounds that are super cute when he's happy or comfortable. He goes, yesterday I was panicked because Simon got an ant bite and I didn't know what it was, but I couldn't find the thorn, and he was licking his paw and he was acting like he wasn't gonna like ever be able to walk again or something. It was so terrible. He was laying on his back holding his paw in the air and doing all this stuff, and then like an hour later he was okay. But for like an hour there I was like, I don't even know if I can keep Simon anymore. I'm gonna have to find some rich person to take him over because he may need the kind of medical and vet care daily that because I will not watch him suffer, and I started to get panicked. I was like, what if something's wrong with him? And then he was fine. Good old Simon. Oh, Lily, you are furry. So, why people? People have their own interests, right? And they're acting like, even when they have their version of you, the version of you that they love is their version of you. And it may hold certain similarities to you, but depending on the person, it's not completely like, I mean, who even are you, and how do they know, and how would you know? And like, and who told you? Your mom? It's like she was a good source. And then, sure, you're as innocent as the day is innocent. What does that even mean? So, like, people, they say, are out to do their own thing, even when they think they're being good. So let's say that you think you're being like a good person. Well, what you think, it feels good to you to be a good person, right? So then you think that that's good, what you're doing, because you like feeling like a good person. That's really selfish. Sounds pretty satanic to me. And then you're calling it like whatever it takes to call it to get accepted. Oh no, it's religion. Oh no, I'm this. Oh no, I'm that. Uh-huh. Okay. Like, really? I'm not so sure. What does this even mean? So when you mind map someone else, that's your version of them that you're mind mapping. So one of my theories, it's not the only one I have. One of my theories on why people die is this. Like, what if we truly live in a multidimensional universe? Just a lot of people are not going to be able to get this, but if we truly live in a multidimensional universe, and people have all these different versions of themselves, right? And you put a person in a role that doesn't fit them, right? Then to you, it's going to look like that person died, right? Because you tried to put them in a role that doesn't fit them, that they're not willing to play. And they were like, if you want me to play that fucking role, I'm not willing to do it. And so, how about you play that role instead and it dies and I'm over here doing my own thing like you never fucking existed? You see? And then what you would do is you just take a little bit of the other person's body who gave you such a limiting role and looked at you in such a limiting way. You'd take a little bit of their body, you'd take it like clay, and you'd form it into a fake version of yourself that they'd have to watch die that was never you. And then you'd give it back to them afterwards because it was never you in the first place. They would just think it was. And you'd run off and do your thing because they never had the imagination to believe that you'd be any more interesting or nuanced than a stupid cake robot or a fucking one-dimensional villain or whatever fucking stupid shit they had in their head. Think of the number of people who would be invisible to the people here on Earth because in other dimensions, because they'd be in another dimension because they're still alive, but like because we couldn't think of them in a way that was interesting enough. So because we couldn't think of them in a way that was interesting enough, they appeared to die. I posit that if you could think of people who are supposedly already dead in a way that's interesting enough, you could get them right back. It's just a matter of when. That's what a lot of people say Armageddon is. So. Oh, my dog is shedding. Oh my gosh. Whoa, look at the fur lilies. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Why do I think Lily is such a good little monitoring spy? I'm not sure all the reasons, but I was analyzing her breed. Look at the fur. I've almost not seen gentle. I've almost not seen so much fur coming out of a dog. Oh, look at that. You looked like you didn't have extra furs, but look at how many you had. This is a lot of furs. Wow, Lily. Wow. Oh my gosh. They're just falling off a bit. Must have the weather got warm. We've had some 100-degree days that probably did it. Wow. Oh my gosh. Whew. Whew. Oh wow, look at your hairs. Everywhere. Hold on, I'll be right back. I'm gonna put the other dog in. Come on, Simon. Really get out because I'm gonna give you more dog food. Yeah, you get more because you're big. And he's little. So even though we have to be careful with him because he's little, you get extra food because you're big. So come over here. No, Lily, sit. Good. Stay put. I don't know. I think it's the Rachel Ray dog food. It looks like it's pretty yummy looking. It has a smell. Let's try to switch them. I think it's not bad. There's so much dog hair. Oh my gosh. Gotta go wash my hands. Okay, back to the old video again. So they're not really your friends because their biological determinism causes them to operate from their own internal system of mind mapping. Our idea of a friend, I'm not saying you'll never get any, okay? But when we think of friends, I think we think of Frodo and Samwise, don't we? Two people willing to suffer for the other person within reason. Now, mutual suffering within reason. Like, so like, oh, what do I think happened to Jesus? Oh yeah, okay, let's talk about that. There's a lot of guys running around back then, causing riots, getting into stuff. Oh look, I saw your, all three are here. Oh, you've been out kayaking, making hay. All three of them are here. I made this a Deadbolt Trinity edition. You're welcome. No, thank you. That's where the 3 viewers were coming from. Excellent instruction. 3 likes, 3 shares. There we are. Okay. Good morning. Thank you for watching. What was I? Where am I supposed to say? Fuck you. Let's see. The Akitas, because samurais bred Akitas to samurais were sort of like a lord of an area, and there was people who were basically slaves, and a lot of times they would work in mines and stuff like that. And so Akitas are actually, they will stalk without barking, without making any noises, and they'll use their paws to sort of like grapple and hold people down rather than bite. And I really think that my dog's ability to imagine heists amongst the animal kingdom and that are probably there, or whatever, is because she was trained to keep an eye on humans who could be trying to escape. And so she's good at like a certain type of monitoring, and the other half of her is cattle dog. Cattle dogs are part dingo, and the debate on the street is that dingoes were brought to Australia by Pacific and Asian island area peoples, and that they kept them back then as like 5,000 years ago, between 4,000 and 5,500 years ago. They kept them often as livestock, so they were an emergency food source that could serve a lot of purposes. And so the story is, I guess, the myth potentially is that a couple of those livestock dogs got loose in the outback and made it multi-generationally after they got off the ships. And then those dogs are bred into the cattle dog. So cattle dogs have 1 to 3% of dingo, and sure are cute. Yes. Oh, Millie. She has such pointy ears. I think she does have a bit of a dingo-looking face. So the cattle dog is mixed with a few different breeds. It was invented to be able to handle the heat of the, put together to handle the heat of the outback where they had cattle, but also to be really, they're very intelligent. They don't kill the cows. They herd them. They pay attention. Even their owners, if their owners start to disassociate, they might give them a little nudge on the heel. And my dog is so cute. It's just the way she's watching the bugs. Let me see if I can show you. She's got her eye on a bug right now. See? It's a little ant, and he's walking away still. That's why her face is slowly turning further and farther over. She's watching him until he leaves the area. But you should have seen. He started out between her paws and she was staring at him. She's slowly turning her head to watch the ant leave. It's very funny. She's got her eyes on them. She's still watching him. Oh, he must have gone under the fence. That's so cute. Her ears are so tall. So, anyways, I know. Cat too. I'll tell you stories about the cat. And young Simon, the little white dog, the tiny little white dog, has been caught having psychic communications, but not by me. I had some other people tell me that they caught Simon having like psychic communications with aliens in the middle of the night, like he was like this fully sentient being that was like carrying messages back and forth. It didn't surprise me one little bit. It wasn't even me who said that. Someone told that to me about my little white dog. They caught him in the middle of the night talking to aliens, and that they could see by the look in his eyes it was like not a joke. And I'm not kidding. Little Simon, if you ever look at Simon's face, you'll if you doubted me before you look at him, you'll be like, this could be true. No, my cat's hilarious. She's fine. She's out frolicking in the woods somewhere. In the echoes. So yeah, I mean, so by biological determinism, whether you think it or not, you're always out for your own best will, and you're mapping people according to your best will, and so other people are always going to map you. You can't rely on, sometimes when people think of friends, I think they're thinking that someone who can map them better than they can map themselves. And I think that that's a false dream. I think it's best to just be confused and stay that way. And to some extent. And like not really ever think you really know anyone. And you make alliances. But, I think that people overlook that they might be closer to your cat or your dog than you're going to get to another human, because another human has more reasons to be a rival than a creature from another species. And I think that's why you see gorillas in the mist and people who move out with the lions and stuff. Alright. Have a good day.